Okay, so Stefan had this antique table and it was valued at £2,000, right? On the 1st of January 2012. He wants to predict what the antique table will be worth on the 1st of January 2018. So obviously he doesn't know, okay, because it's in a couple of years' time. So he's going to look at this criteria here. So it says each of the first 4 years of owning the table, its value appreciated by 5% of its value at the start of each year. So appreciated, right, just to remind you of this term, just means to increase, right? That's what that means. Appreciate just means to increase. And then bullet point 2, then Stefan predicts that the table will depreciate by 5% in value this year and 6% next year. Depreciate, of course, that means to decrease, okay? That means it goes down, of course. In the first 4 years, so if we think about it, first 4 years, well, that would be the whole of 2012, whole of 2013, whole of 2014, and whole of 2015. Okay, so in those 4 years, it increased by 5%. Okay, so we went up. Okay, and then in the 2 years, then it says here that Stefan predicts that the table will depreciate in value this year. So obviously, this year is 2016. Okay, it's going to go down by 5. And then next year then it'll be down by 6, okay? Of course, in those first 4 years, it goes up by 5%, all right? Now, remember now, this is like compound interest, okay? So it's not a case of working out 5% and then you know, adding 4 lots of 5% on. It doesn't quite work like that. You need to work out 5% of the £2,000 added on, and then work out 5% of that higher total added on, 5% of that even higher total added on, and so on. So your 5% is increasing each year. All right. Now you can do it that way, of course, or you could do it using the multiplier approach. Now, if you think about it, your £2,000 represents 100%. Okay, represents your 100%, and we want to increase it by 5%. Okay, so that'll become 105%, which then, of course, as a decimal, that's 1.05, isn't it? You know, and you calculate it, if you divide that by 100, you get 1.05. That's your multiplier. So £2,000 then, we're going to multiply by 1.05 the first year, multiply by 1.05 again for the second, again for the third, again for the fourth. It's easier just to do it like that, put it to the power 4. Get your calculator, okay? And you get 2431.01. Okay, so we can round it there to 2 decimal places. Okay, 2 decimal places is needed because it's money. You need it to the nearest penny, right? So that's after 4 years. Okay, now in the 5th year it goes down by 5%. Okay, so now this new total, it goes down by 5%. All right, now we need to think about what the multiplier is going to be here. All right. Now, of course, if you think about it, this represents your 100%. Now, if it goes down by 5%, you need to take 5% away, so you end up with 95%, which is 0.95, okay? As a decimal, of course, right? That's your new multiplier. So you're going to times 2431.01 by 0.95, okay? Always multiplying, right? But this time, of course, it's by a number which is less than 1 because it's decreased. So I've got to times that, haven't I? And I get 2,309.46. Okay, if I round that to the nearest penny. Okay, and then, of course, then I've got to deal with this for the 6th year. Okay, of course, this now represents your 100%. And now this time it goes down by 6%, so that'll become 94%. So your new multiplier is 0.94. So you do 2309.46 times 0.94 equals okay, so that would be 2,170.89. Okay, so that's what it's worth after the 6 years. All right. In summary, what we've actually done, right? You can do this even quicker, right? Once you get used to the multiplier idea. Okay, you could just do it all in one line even, right? But you have to be really confident at it first, right? The main thing is you're realizing for the first 4 years it increases by 5%, so that gives you a multiplier of 1.05, okay, for 4 years. And then we'd multiply that answer then by what it goes in the 5th year, and now because in the 5th year it depreciates by 5%, so you multiply now because you've taken away 5%, you multiply, becomes 0.95, and then in the 6th year then, okay, it becomes 0.94 because it's gone down by 6%. You don't have to do it this way, all right? But that's ultimately what all of this leads to, okay? You can use this long approach here to make sure you have everything worked out properly.